channel. On today's video, I want to talk about why does being unemployed feel so bad, but at the same time feel so good and so right. Is it bad to put yourself first and not let this corporate world take over all of your hours? Why does putting myself first in this time of my life make me feel so guilty? If you guys enjoy content like this, please let me know in the comments below and let's get into it. So since I was 16, I have been working, and I grew up in a lower income family where my mom would give me, my brother and my sister, everything that we wanted, or everything that she was able to afford. But it wasn't to a point where we were spoiled. And since I was young, my mom taught me and my siblings that if you wanted something, you needed to work hard for it, and you needed to go out and get it on your own. I remember when I was 16 years old, the day after I had turned 16, I had asked my mom, can I get a phone? And it was just a smartphone. It wasn't an iPhone, it was just a smartphone, which is something that that had a screen on and you can touch and take selfies with. And she told me that if I wanted a luxury like that, I would have to go out and find a job, pay for it myself, and if I wanted service, pay for that too. I also have this strawberry pillow that I'm holding just for comfort. When I was 16, I actually got my first job at Sears in the jewelry department, and I was so excited for this job. It was my first big girl job. I was gonna get my check. I was gonna be able to buy anything I wanted, and I was gonna get it on my own without needing help from my mom, which had already given me the world. Growing up, I knew that I needed to work for the things that I wanted, and it also gave me a sense of responsibility, because that would just mean that I would be more careful and take care of the things that I bought, because I know how hard I worked for it and I knew the value of money. I would remember it being summertime and me telling my friends I can't go out as much this summer, or even my family when we would go to like the lakes and the beaches. I can't go out so much because I have work, because I have to grind all summer so that I could be good in the winter and so that I can have money to spare just to buy the things that I would buy when I was 16. Ask me where that money went, I have no idea. I wouldn't be able to tell you. There was two things that I bought with my checks back when I was 16 that I remember, and it was a pink purse, which was the first thing that I bought with my check, and a phone, and paying my phone bill. After that, you're gonna ask me where that money went, probably to food, who knows. Well, with that being said, since I was 16, I had always been non-stop working, and throughout my college career, I was also working as well. I could have taken some of that time off to just focus on studying, but I knew that I wouldn't be content with asking my mom for money, knowing that she wasn't in a position where she could give me that money freely. And I know that if I would have asked her, she would have said yes, but the big girl in me just wanted to do things all by myself. Throughout my college career, I would work part-time but also be a full-time student, which had its benefits when it came to purchasing the things that I wanted and going on trips and seeing the world, but it did have its negative aspects when it came to focusing less on schoolwork. And I was able to graduate, and I'm extremely proud of myself for doing that. But throughout the process, I worked, and I know that there's a lot of people out there who have similar circumstances because they are also paying their college tuition by themselves or paying their rent and just making it on their own. After I graduated, I again worked, and I feel like the only time where we were able to have that time off was when COVID happened. But even for me, I was still working throughout that time, so I just never had a break. Forward to now, me being 26, there hasn't been a time where I haven't worked, and that's because that's what I thought was normal. This is what I think life is: working 9 to 5s, climbing the corporate ladder, going to school, finding a job, continuing to build your way up without having a break, without allowing yourself to have a break until it's time to retire. When I came to Miami, as some of you guys may or may not know, I moved to Miami with my best friend about 5 months ago from a completely new state, and I didn't know anybody here. I came down here, took a big leap of faith, and just wanted to try a new scenery, new environment, and see what life may offer me down here what I could experience and build in a new state. I felt like I really needed that big leap of faith in moving to a new state to try new things and to get outside of my comfort zone. It has always been a dream and an aspiration, so I went with it. The thing is that when I came to Miami, I actually worked for about 2-3 months and then I quit my job. I quit my job for my mental health because I wasn't happy where I was. I wasn't happy in my job. I feel like I was taken advantage of. I honestly feel like I was being bullied and it just wasn't the place for me. I'm not gonna go into it and bash the job that I was in. Just know I chose myself and I chose my mental health. Once I stopped working, I told myself, okay, I'm gonna give myself maybe a month to not work. Take a breather, take a break. This is the first time in what feels like forever that I haven't had a job. So I'm gonna take this time to work on my YouTube. I'm gonna take this time to work on my hobbies. I'm gonna take this time to just chill, breathe, no working. Month goes by, I say it's time for me to actually start looking and searching for jobs. In the economy that we're in right now and with the jobs that I have been applying to, I haven't found the one that's right for me. I haven't found the one that calls my passion. It feels like the passion that I truly have is giving myself the time I have is me working on my YouTube and just giving myself a break. And at times I feel so guilty for just lounging around in the house, going out or staying up late and just living my life without having that responsibility have to clock in. It's so crazy that you can have so much fun, you can feel so liberated. Feeling liberated somewhat feels wrong. Somewhat feels like you're not doing enough. Somewhat feels like lady in your head is just saying, oh, you should be working towards something. But in reality, I am working towards something. I'm working towards myself. I'm working towards feeling better and not being so anxious, not having my heart race randomly and wondering, is this anxiety? Am I stressed? Is it because I haven't gotten enough sleep? And I think that it's important for everyone out there to know that if you're not happy at your job, you should really reconsider. Oh, my strawberry fell. Consider the place where you're putting all this time in. I feel like we are so used to and normalize the fact that we give these jobs 40 hours and might even be miserable doing that, and then give ourselves no time afterwards and just waste away our days and waste away our passions and our hobbies and the things that we've always wanted to try. With this video, I want to share what I have learned throughout this experience, and is that putting your hobbies and your dreams first or even secondhand is gonna make you feel so much better, and it's gonna help bring out that sense of accomplishment. You can be working and getting that check at the end of the Friday and you still don't feel accomplished. You still feel like you want more and more, and it's okay to want more because that's normal. As humans, we always want to strive for the best. But for me, when I was working, even when I was getting my checks, it's kind of like I was happy for 2 seconds and then I had to do it all over again. Whereas now, when I take the time to record a video and edit and post it, because it has always been a passion of mine to speak to people and try to relate to people and try to make people feel like they're not alone, it makes me feel 10 times better than receiving a check. And yeah, you know, receiving a check is cool, receiving a check is fine. I'm not gonna stay here and lie and say that it doesn't make me feel good, but it doesn't make me feel better than what I'm doing now. And if there's a passion that you have, I really encourage you guys to pursue it and try it out. Maybe that means changing your full-time job into a part-time job and having more time for yourself. Maybe it means changing your whole job and leaving. If you're in a position right now where you are unemployed and you kind of feel guilty but good at the same time because you're taking some time for yourself, I don't want you to feel guilty because it does feel good. It feels good to pour into yourself. As long as you are taking the proper actions to do the things that are gonna make you happy, whether it's writing a book, whether it's painting your house, whether it's pouring into yourself, calming down and taking care of your mental health first, I think that speaks wonders. In this journey, I just want to share with you guys how it's been going for me, and I hope this video helps anyone who's in a similar situation or doesn't know what to do. My answer is always to put yourself first. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.